Today we received a hard drive from a computer shop and it has a problem that we refer to as bad sectors. This particular hard drive is a Toshiba 1TB 2.5-inch serial ATA hard drive. Now this is a hard drive that a lot of computer technicians and computer repair shops actually receive with very strange symptoms. Now as a data recovery technician, it's very obvious and very clear to me, but I thought I'd let you know that if you have a computer that seems to be getting slower and slower and taking a long time to open folders, or if you try and open a file, it takes a long time to open that file and it seems to get progressively worse, or if you seem to see your computer, the hard drive activity light or the little orange light normally on your computer case, kind of blinking and flashing when you're sleeping and not even using the computer. Often we see hard drives that are starting to fail actually get those kind of symptoms. So the most common symptoms we see is customers say they can see some files and folders, but when they go into the folders, there's things missing, or the folder takes a long time to load, and then when they get into it, the folder is empty, and they panic and they think everything's been deleted. When we actually receive the hard drive, like this particular one over here, we usually plug it into a tool called a Tola Insight Forensic, and using that tool, we check the smart status of the hard drive, which is a self-monitoring system. It'll automatically tell us the drive is reallocating bad blocks and reallocating bad sectors, which is basically what they're designed to do, so they can self-heal and repair themselves. That's good technology. But when a hard drive has too many read errors and bad sectors, then that's when you start actually experiencing data loss and files start disappearing, and the hard drive will get slower and slower. The other common symptom we see is when computer technicians try and actually clone or image or run data recovery software on the hard drive. They can often see all the files, so they kind of think there's nothing wrong with it, which sort of is true. But when they start saving the files and folders, the hard drive basically the software will give them a time estimate. They'll say, for example, to copy 20 gigabytes of data should only really take about 15 minutes or less. But it'll sort of start off with a time estimate on the software saying 15 minutes remaining, then 27 minutes, then 2 hours, then 7 hours. And if you kind of walk away and come back, it'll say 3 days remaining, and then it'll say 20 days. And often we get computer shops and technicians call us and say, look, I've been trying to copy the data off this hard drive for 3 weeks. It gets slower and slower, and it's progressively getting worse. So often we find those hard drives deteriorate the more we use them, and they get hot. So definitely, if you have a similar problem, stop using it. Don't run those programs or tools, because they'll make the problem worse. And normally in our data recovery lab, we'll take a hard drive like this, we plug it into a tool called PC3000. We make a few changes to the firmware of the drive to stop the drive reallocating bad blocks and bad sectors as we copy the data. We clear the glist and the smart table, and then we use a hardware imaging tool like DeepSpy Disk Imager or PC3000 or a Tola Insight. These are professional tools. They're usually several thousand US dollars or more, and we can make a full clone copy of the hard drive sector by sector very, very fast, and we don't skip or miss blocks of data. We get all the data back in good condition. So data recovery companies like ours, like Payam Data Recovery, we've got specialized tools and equipment that computer repair technicians simply don't buy because it's not worth their money for them. And we see this kind of problem with these kind of hard drives at least 10 every single day, all day, every day of the year. The success rate is 100%. We always get the data back. We just have to spend the time to do it, dedicate the time to do the steps regarding testing, changing the firmware, cloning it, extracting the data, and saving the data. And then usually the final step is we'll give you a list of all the files we recovered and ask for the payment. So if you have a hard drive that's experiencing a similar issue, turn it off, stop using it. It'll give us the best chance of getting your data back in perfect condition as cheap as possible. Thanks.